This week's survival tip has been brought to you by Survival Supplies Australia.
Right, today's survival tip is all about shelter building and keeping yourself dry, especially in wet and cold weather. It's really, really important. And the TP I make, I've made all kinds of different shelters, but this one's kind of like a TP slash bush hut, and I'll get into it, show you how it goes. My height here, okay, you'd want it to come just above your head to give yourself a little bit of room. You cross these poles over, and what you can do when you get your first three, you can actually lay them down on the ground, tie them up with some string, with some Goin lily, with another plant you found in the area, with some vines, and then you can get it up by yourself and just put like a tripod up to start off. So we've got it all tied together. I like to use about 6 poles and just have that little overlap at the top there. Now, I like to have a small door. You see a lot of these open survival shelters. Now, what kind of animals do you reckon you need to look out for when you've got a big open survival shelter? It could be the big scary ones. They're going to get into you even in something like this. It's the tiny little ones, the mosquitoes. They're going to keep you awake at night. You're going to be slapping your face. You're going to be itchy all over. Your morale's going to plummet. So I like to have a small opening with a door on there to keep the mosquitoes out, to keep the heat in the cool weather, and to even keep the heat out in the warmer weather. Okay, so we just make a little door here at the front, across like that, and then right across at about knee height, we essentially do a hoop that goes right around the outside of the shelter. You can just tie sticks on, vines, but you want to have it level all the way around. Then at about chest height, all the way around. Then you're getting to about head height up here, so you've got 1, 2, 3, about 4 levels for this style of shelter. Then you want to get your thatching together, and I'll draw it to scale. You want to get some long grass. You can use gum leaves. There's a variety of different leaves you can use. You get them in a long pile like this, if this was grass, long, thick grass, and then you tie it together up near the top so it looks a bit like a broom handle, and then have a couple of little overlapping bits of string there to tie onto your shelter. Overlap it by at least 1/3, preferably 50%. If you make this right, especially if you have it nice and vertical, not like this, but nice and like a real steep descent there, water's a whole lot less likely to be able to seep in. It's really important to have it sticking up like that. You can get in there and in the daytime and have a look and see if you can see any light through the top of it. There might be some gaps that you can fill, but you can physically get in there and sort of rough it up and push bits into other areas. You can stuff branches, you can stuff grass into different areas, but make sure it's streamlined and really vertical, and you've got yourself a waterproof and weatherproof shelter.